Hello everybody and welcome back to Medieval 2 Total War Stainless Steel, the Aragon campaign. Last time we left off, we besieged the Moorish town of Aragon. Slightly less of a messy battle than the Siege of Granada, but it was a bit similar. Our main issue though was a lack of spear militia, or spearmen, or infantry of any kind. As this army here is not particularly infantry or spearmen heavy. It's very, very archer, well, missile should I say, and cavalry heavy. Which is fine, but it's not my strong suit. I like a good mace of infantry. So before we assault our next castle, the next settlement along our route, we are going to have to reinforce this army slightly. We have some spear militia waiting, and what we are going to do then is we're going to bring Tristan Ramirez and his small garrison here at Granada to assist in the campaign against the Moors in North Africa. And in Iberia, which I believe is going to probably be the focus of today's part, we are slowly, as I described in the last part, tightening the noose. Hernando Ramirez has made his way round from Murcia and is now besieging Silves, a very lightly defended town, with their faction heir admittedly holed up in here, so we'll see how that fares. And there's also Seville, where there is a small garrison. I'm going to bring this by a little bit closer just to find out. There's another family member here, which is a shame because it means there's a bodyguard, and that is the main unit that, you know, we struggle to end up killing. We struggle to kill in our siege battles, so nonetheless, we shall see what happens. So we pretty much did everything we needed to do. Needed to do at the end of the last part. We could be building a little bit more, but our financial situation right now won't allow it, and it's largely because our army upkeep is flipping huge. Because another army that I forgot to mention is Ildefonso Ramirez, who has a massive army that is going to take the fight to these huge Moorish armies here. He has an army pretty much big enough and elite enough. Well, it's not really elite, it's not very elite. It's freshly trained, but it's going to have to be what it's going to be. And we're going to see what we can do. I'm hoping by that point the Moors will have had to withdraw back to Cordoba a little bit more, so that we can bring our other two armies in. So yeah, without further ado, let's end the turn. Here we go. Oh, is this army finally coming to attack Valencia? Is it too little too late? I believe it might be. Moving some merchants up, but I'm more worried about their troop movements. What are they going to do? Bringing an army up here, but that is all. Okay, so another historical event. The Sultan. No? What am I talking about? He was the poet. No, maybe he was. No, maybe he was the Sultan as well. Oh no, sorry, I'm talking rubbish. Read through that if you want, guys. I've made a mech up. Wow, I can't talk today. Made a complete bumble of telling you that. So yeah. Anyway, in that end-turn phase, this army finally decided to do something.
I will not waste words on you, infidel.
It's a rather large army. It's a full stack. It's got 20 units in it, I believe. Yeah, it's got it's got 20 units. So, however, it might be again a little bit too little, too late, because this army here can actually reach this bridge. This army cannot reach Valencia. It can reach Murcia.
Of course, my lord.
So, what I'm going to do now, it cannot reach Valencia.
My Sultan wishes you dead.
So much like in the last part, if it wants to assault Murcia, it can do. However, this army will be able to reinforce it next turn.
Orders.
So, There's no issue there. So, we're going to bring this army here.
My lord. Your orders?
We're going to pick
Yes.
up this army with our
On
boats.
to the ships.
Move further down to
Plotting
Granada.
course now, my lord.
And we're going to bring Tristan.
Your orders, noble one.
A bit of his
Orders.
infantry.
Yes. Orders.
And you know what,
Your
we'll
Majesty.
just leave a little bit there. Now, Granada's not going to be happy about that, but it can recruit another unit of archers, which we're going to do.
Yes.
So now this army is a full stack army, and all it need do now is move across
Yes, my lord.
this stretch of the Mediterranean to Melilla, and we can assault this castle. Iran is still fine. It's got a couple of units of spear militia, which is fine. Doesn't need to worry. And we're slowly going to turn that more Catholic. It's currently 4%, but once we build a church and then hopefully a priest, it might be a little bit better. What we could also do
My lord.
is, since Algiers is going to convert probably on its own, given these bishops, we could bring this priest down and start converting it already,
Continuing tomorrow, my
which I
lord.
think is a good plan.
I
Right,
can go no further.
war has
today.
been declared between Hungary and Venice. That's of no interest to us. More recruitment, more faction announcements. Mainly just our priests. And a new end of turn report. Our military strength, I believe, has increased. We're now 11th. Our financial has gone down. But our overall, we have gone up to 8th. So we're now 8th in the world. And to be honest, I'm starting to see why, because we do have quite a powerful empire now. I am to the point where we can sort of start calling this an empire. I mean, we have how many regions now? I believe we have 6, 7, 8, 9 regions. And we're going to be adding a few more shortly,
Your orders,
including
noble one.
Silves to our empire.
We will engage them
which
honorably,
we
my
shall do
lord.
now. Now again, how is this anywhere near a balanced fight? He has 22 men. Right, I'm going to order to resolve it, but if we lose this, I'm calling bullshit. Yes, clear victory. I'm going to say, it's just wasting my time.
Yeah!
Sorry, but it really
God
is.
has
Like, I'm not
granted
fighting
his
all these
faithful
battles, but
this
there's
victory.
no point.
Our courage has prevailed.
Anyway,
These
Silves is a
lands
little
are
bit
yours,
happier.
my lord.
So we're going to sack it instead of exterminating. Rebuild all our stuff. We'll build a church. Now, its population, because we haven't exterminated it, is a little bit happier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to raise the tax rate, though, because we need the money. We're just about breaking even with that, but again, that's largely because we sacked settlement last turn, so I think we've got a bit more from that. So,
Your orders?
yeah, anyway. So this army here, if it assaults Murcia, we can relieve it with this army. If they attack us across the bridge, it's going to get destroyed. If it
I
goes
will
this
not
way,
waste
it
words
can't
on you,
reach Valencia.
infidel.
It gets to here, in which case we can attack it before it gets there. So, there's a little bit of an army here, but I'm just
We are
wondering
not contest.
if
Yes, my lord.
I put this army here,
Full sail.
I wonder if it blocks it.
Despite being an infidel, I respect you in battle.
Your orders?
I'm going to try and be really, really dickish here.
Leaving the rest of...
Even if they do not deserve it.
Your orders?
No, it doesn't do it. Right, I was wondering if I could block him off,
Yes,
but
my lord. Your
no, I
orders?
can't. Never mind. I
Yes.
can block ships from coming through.
Joining our fleet.
So
I
this,
think you
no,
have
this
the
fleet
wrong
can go through.
fleet.
Okay, never mind. I thought there was a little bit of hack that I could use there.
Your
but,
orders?
No,
First,
There will be much honor in defeating you, noble infidel.
I don't think I can say the same, mate. Because I'm not really that honourable when it comes down to it, trying to block you off like that. Anyway, I don't know why I'm trying to block you, to be honest, because the less troops they have in Africa, the easier I'll have a time in there. It does mean taking Cordoba might be a little bit more difficult, but, you know, it's going to be what it's going to be. I don't think that's the first time I've said that in this part even, but Yeah. Right, this army is not very powerful, which means if they decide to send an army this way, we're in a lot of trouble. But we assaulted last turn, and they didn't do anything. So I'm thinking they're not going to do so again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see if I can get away with leaving a couple of infantry. Yeah,
Of course, my lord.
But then again, it's on a high tack. Oh. Yeah, maybe not then. Okay. We're going to have to keep...
Noble one. Your orders, noble one. As you wish.
Okay.
Forming 2 armies.
Just keeping the general here makes a massive difference. So what we could do...
Yes!
is we could send this Captain Lucas towards Seville. So... yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have him hide in the, in the trees up here, and we're going to assault Sylvain next turn. Not too worried about this guy.
Even if they do not deserve it, I will offer the infidels a fair fight. There will be much honor in defeating you, noble infidel.
But yeah. Unless they send this guy. If they send this guy, we're in a lot of trouble. If they send this guy, they're going to leave Cordoba exposed. Like, if they take this guy... if they move this guy out, I can just attack Cordoba, to be fair. So they've really got to think about this. If they want to stop us taking all their territory, they're going to have to come up with something clever. Because they've been on the defensive all game.
Where to, sire?
It's not really working. Yeah. Another thing I could do also is if they did move this army to defend somewhere else, if I move my spy in, there's a 60% chance of success, which is not great. Normally I wouldn't, but I'll tell you what, I'm going to spy on this merchant instead. So our spy has successfully infiltrated that army.
Moving in unseen, my lord.
Wow, he is generating a lot of money per turn. Holy crap. I don't really play with merchants. I don't really understand them. I don't really care. They don't give you enough in return. So I can't do anything about the city this turn now because I've already used up my action point for this turn. However, next turn, if this army does move away, I've got a 70% chance of getting into the city, which might be worthwhile, because then, again, if I manage to do that, I think it's a 40% chance, or something like that, of opening the gates. So if I attack with Ramirez, this army moves to here, it'll still be able to return next turn. So if I simply put the castle under siege, it takes 1 turn for me to besiege it. So this army could relieve it at that time. However, if I open the gates with my spy, I might be able to take Cordoba, get into the city. Obviously, I'd have to besiege the garrison. But if I can take the city, and this army then decides to come back the turn after, I would have a far easier time defending the city from this army than I would having to attack it plus the army. So it might not come to that because they probably won't move this army out, but if they do, it might be something to think about. So anyway, never mind about that now. Okay guys, I'm back. Sorry about that. Another cup of tea had to be done. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, that is again, I've been rambling a couple of minutes more there, just trying to work out how we're going to end, basically the end game of our Moorish campaign. But yeah, if I'm honest, I don't think we need to worry so much anymore. I think we've pretty much got the Moors by the balls here, and yeah. I don't
Where to, sire?
envisage the Moors been able to put up much of a fight. They've still got enough of a force to beat us back on maybe one front. If they pool all their strength against, say, this army, they might be able to push us back to Granada and maybe Murcia, but in that time, our other armies will have taken all of North Africa and Seville and Cordoba probably, and they'll be back to these settlements. So, yeah, I don't think the Moors are really going to be able to do very much more. But nonetheless, let's go and find out. So we'll end the turn. The Portuguese think they're going to take Seville, do you? Too late, mate. Okay, guys, we're back. I'm sorry about that. The recordings decided to cut out halfway through the end turn phase again, and it couldn't have been on a worse turn, quite frankly, because not only have the Moors decided to lay siege to Murcia, which, to be fair, we kind of thought they might do, but they've also decided to besiege here at Silves as well. Now, don't get me wrong, it's just this small army here,
I will offer the infidels a
which
fair
won't
fight.
even be able to assault this city because they can't use the siege equipment because it's a cavalry unit. So they can't assault me even if they wanted to. There was another army that, the army that went all the way down here and then for some reason came all the way back up, has decided to arrive here, which actually is not the worst decision they could have made, because again we are now threatened with being
Your
surrounded
orders,
on the
Noble
bridge
One.
again, which is not great, has to be said. So what are we going to do? Right, first things first, let's just get rid of these notifications, see what's happening. So Cardinal promoted Crusader states, we don't care. Genoa and the Papal States have declared an alliance. England and France have declared a truce, we don't care. Recruitment, construction, faction announcements. We have lost one of our cardinals, sadly. That is a bit of a bummer, but again, life goes on. Our military is suffering, but again, everything else we are gaining in power. And again, 2 settlements are besieged. Now, this
Your
one
orders, Noble
is
One.
it's a fairly simple
With God's
thing.
blessing
Well,
and
it's not going to be
yours,
simple.
we march to
It's going to be a
battle.
pretty big battle, this. And I'm not entirely convinced we're going to win. And neither does the computer. It's a pretty balanced fight, this. They have got quite a lot of spear militia, which normally we would as well. However, and we do. However, we also have a lot of peasant infantry, which is even worse. They also have Nubian spearmen, which are a lot better. They have better archers. But then again, they do have they've got a bit of cavalry. Not a million miles off the amount of cavalry we've got. In fact, actually, it's probably half. They do have probably about the same amount of cavalry. Captain Guy just has some infantry, and that is all. So yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. And yeah, it's going to be, although we've already had a Battle of Murcia, I'm pretty convinced. It wasn't a particularly interesting affair last time we fought it. This time, it's a much, much bigger deal.
God
Let
will
us
help the
get
faithful
to it.
prevail. We attack!
It's interesting to see the Moors finally start going on the attack, I guess. It's about time, to be honest. They really needed to go on the attack at some point. But it's going to make a couple. It's going to make a couple of interesting turns. Is this? Anyway, let me leave you to the battle speech.
It is an honor to be thought a well-educated man, for are we not a nation of erudite warriors? But I tell you that in all the books I have ever studied, I have never seen an account of creatures as lowly as our foes. However, my learning leads me to suspect that they may die as easily as other men. If our Moorish foes had any sense, they would flee back to the scorpions and snakes that father them.
Okay, never mind, guys. It's literally a carbon copy of the previous speech. It seems that Ildefonso has been learning from Ramiro Ramirez. Let's just assume the men are pretty well stoked for the battle. Basically, well, what's my own speech? Let's make up our own speech. These Moorish thos are cowards. They have spent the past how many years outside the gates of Cordoba, worried about our forces. Now that their backs are against the wall, they decide to come forth and do something about it. And today is where they learn that everything they heard about the Spanish, about the Aragonese being extremely talented warriors, all their fears that we would have outfought them and beaten them, are very, very true. Because today, on this battlefield, we shall destroy what remains of the Moorish Caliphate's hopes of winning this war. The enemy right there represents almost a quarter, if not more, of the Moorish's entire army. Victory today would virtually see the Moorish Caliphate defeated and the Aragons victorious across not just Europe, but North Africa as well. Let's to it, and let's make this so. Okay, yeah, that was absolute shit, but there we go. Right, let us see what's going on. Right, so we have our reinforcements coming from over here. It's only a couple of units of spear militia, which isn't all that great. It's not, well, it's alright, it's better than nothing. But we shall have to see. Right, Moors are over here. Let's see about this. Both. Okay, we are back, guys. I was going to let them come to us, but actually I don't think that's going to happen, because I think they're on the defensive. I think we have to attack them, which is fine. Now, their army there looks very small, but we have more. They have more troops than that. They're just hidden in the trees. So what we're going to do is we're going to neutralise their hill advantage straight away. And position our army. It's still a little bit of a hill, but it's not quite as bad as what it was before. So we're not going to have anybody run for the moment. In fact, if anything, we want to take our time ever so slightly, so that our spear militia, our reinforcements get here. If their cavalry decide, though, to hit us at the side whilst we're moving, though, I'd actually welcome that, because what we can do is we can move our entire army around in that time, put our pikes out and see them off. But, yeah. So, what I'm doing here is we've got 4 waves. So we've got our archers at the front. We've got our peasant infantry just behind that. Oop. Never mind that, guys. Spear militia a third, and then our elite infantry spearmen at the back. Right. They're moving their archers out. Now then, I'm going to have our archers fire into their spear militia from No, we're not. Hang on. Let's just bear with us a second. I'm a little bit worried, because if these archers stay too close to the army, our cavalry might get a bit screwed. What I'm going to do is going to bring 1 unit of alpha rats. Oh, no, never mind, they're moving their entire army. Right. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. I don't mind that. But if they're going to charge us, we need to get prepared so they don't hit us in the side. It's fine. You just have to form up rather quickly. Right. Set up there. You guys set up there. Spear militia further back. Elite infantry further back still. I don't think that works. Right, okay, never mind. Right. What we need to do is move our cavalry out on the flank. If we move them out on the flank, we can outmaneuver them, which is what we need to do. Right, okay, let's go. Let's see. Are they charging down the hill? Oh, they definitely are. Right, that's fine. But they are moving this... What are they doing? I'm very confused about what they're doing. They're losing a bit of their hill advantage by doing what they're doing. But never mind. It's not a big issue. Okay. What's interesting is the AI, which very rarely does in vanilla, is actually making... Oh no, it's skirmisher cavalry. I'm going to say they actually look like they're going to counter our cavalry. But it's only skirmisher cavalry, so that's fine. Right, okay. Archers, you need to start firing. They're all they're either crossbowmen or javelinmen, so we don't have any fire arrows, which is fine. We need to form our peasant infantry up. Not right. In front of the archers. And then what we're going to do, the peasant infantry is going to get pretty badly attacked pretty quickly, I would have thought. I'm just thinking we probably made a bit of a tactical blunder there. We probably should have gone left and got on this hill instead, because we'd have actually had the spearmen join us quicker and we'd have had a hill advantage. But oh well. I don't think they're going to let us very kindly form up again now. Although then again, they're moving back up this hill. So maybe they were reforming simply to what's the word? What am I trying to say? I don't know exactly what these cavalry are doing. I think they're just warding us off, actually. And you know what? It's reasonably effective as well. Ooh, what are they doing? Oh, that's what they're doing. Right. Never mind. They our archers have moved too far, and yeah, they're now charging at them. Run the hell away. Run far away. Run many miles. They're all over the place, though, it must be said. What are they doing? I don't really understand what they're trying to do here. And I don't understand what I'm trying to do, honestly. This is going to be a long battle, this. It's a game of chess at this point. Neither of us is wanting to give up any sort of advantage. I've also just realised that because we've already maxed out our army, this spear militia up here will not enter the battlefield until I have lost a unit. So we're not actually going to get any help from the spear militia. So prolonging the battle for that point is not going to make much of a difference. Now, this army didn't have a general, did it? So I don't think... Oh, brilliant! It has no cavalry! The only cavalry it has is missile cavalry. Right, okay, that's brilliant then. In which case, we can use our advantage. I think what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to attack them. Well, even if it is uphill. Right, okay. And we're going to have to get our cavalry. I'm going to have to try and outmaneuver this cavalry. Right, they're just running like I don't know what they have got. I don't think they know what they're doing. Which I'm going to take advantage of. If they don't really know what they're doing, we're going to engage them with our infantry to hold them in. So if we engage them with our infantry, I don't care if all our infantry dies in this battle. I really don't care, because they're not that useful. But in this battle, they might be pretty useful. In terms of... Wow, that cavalry, that infantry is just dying. They are sending spear militia after us, and quite a bit of it too. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring these cavalry all the way back here. I'm going to have to retreat. I don't think that desert cavalry is as much of a pushover as I thought. Right, okay. So now that we've got them engaged, right, this is flipping complicated. This battle is so much more complicated than I initially imagined it would be. Oh, our cavalry is getting slaughtered here by our skirmishers, by their skirmishers. Okay. You know how I was saying a couple of parts ago that my skill in Medieval 2 is a lot better? I don't know what is going on now. I really haven't got a clue. Anyway. I'm trying. Get these bloody cavalry dead now. Kill them. Flippin' engage this cavalry and flippin' knock it out. Engage the cavalry. Get around it.
The battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
Okay, we are sort of winning. Move your arses. There we go. Okay, they're all breaking. That's good. They're all breaking, but we still need to keep fighting. Don't just charge after them willy-nilly, because we haven't got them just yet.
Only half the enemy force remains. The enemy general flees like the coward he is. Press onward and break the spirit of his army.
Who's left? Who the flip is left? Nobody. They're all routing. Right, good. Okay. It wasn't as heroic a victory as it could have been. Okay. All the infantry needs to stop. I was trying to get to the point where we could end this part at the end of the battle, but unfortunately we have run over. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and we will pick this up in the next part. So join me then, and I'll see you next time.